we've got the most inefficient healthcare system imaginable. We're still using paper. We're still filing things in triplicate. Why wouldn't we want to put that on an electronic medical record that will reduce error rates, reduce our long-term costs of healthcare, and create jobs right now?
Medical records are a very important part of keeping patients safe in hospitals. And while most people feel safe being in the care of medical professionals, there are still some risks. And in some cases, they can be very dangerous. Denise Colon has been a victim of a hospital error, and now she's helping educate others on how to keep yourself safe. She's here this morning to tell us more about her mission and the importance of being prepared. Denise, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Now, your traumatic experience is what prompted you to write a book.
Exactly. I had a kidney transplant when, in 2001, my daughter, at the age of 19, donated a kidney to me. And that kidney was functioning just fine. A few years later, about 6 years later, I had an incident to be admitted to the hospital. I had CHF, unrelated to the kidney. And during that time, they inserted a catheter, and they just left it. They forgot about it. Now, catheters and IVs, things like that, are breeding grounds for infection. Every time I asked when it was coming out, they said soon. Then when the doctor said, oh, that thing is still in you, they took it out. By then, it caused an infection.
And how long had that been?
It had been over a week.
Okay.
Over a week. I was admitted on a Tuesday, and the following, I think, Wednesday is when the catheter was finally removed.
So that medical error led to an infection.
It led to an infection.
Extended stay in the hospital for you.
Extended stay, and not only that, the medication they gave me, the antibiotic that they gave me to treat the infection, turns out should not have been given to a kidney patient. The kidney cannot process or eliminate ciprofloxacin from the kidney, from the body easily. So that led to my creatinine rising. It never came back down. I had a fever. I had terrible reactions, tendinitis. All those reactions subsided, but the creatinine never went down. So I had to have another kidney transplant in 2008. My best friend gave me a kidney. So now I've got my 2 native kidneys in back, and I've got my 2 transplanted kidneys in the front.
So several errors that happened there. Now, let's talk about your book, because you've written a book to educate people. Let's go over quickly the 5 things to avoid when you go into the hospital.
Okay, well, the first thing you want to do is list every single medication that you're taking. And you should do that beforehand. You should not wait until an incident occurs.
And update it.
Exactly. Update it regularly.
Increase.
And be sure that you know that you record the last dose taken before your hospital.
Okay.
Hopefully. And that way, if you cannot communicate, if you're not conscious, at least they have that information.
Right.
Investigate. You want to investigate all of your hospital records. You need to not only know your medical record number, because it's a key identifier that hospitals use, but you also want to know, have all narrative reports, have all x-ray images, everything that is on file you want a copy for your own records. Next thing you want to do is verify. You want to verify every time a medication is given to you that they check your wristband, you know your MRN number, make sure that information is accurate on there, that they're giving the right medication to the right patient in the right dose, at the right frequency. There are 5 rights that you're entitled to. So you want to make sure those rights are done. And one of the most important things you can do before, during, and after your hospital stay is engage with your clinicians every step of the way. And for example, when you're going for an operation, there's something called a timeout process where all the clinicians, the anesthesiologists, everyone makes sure that they're operating on the right patient, on the right location.
Everyone's
they
on the
mark
same
the
page.
location. Right.
Right.
You want to engage in that process. You want to let them know, remind them, I'm allergic to this, I had a bad reaction from anesthesia before. Make sure that they know the last meal you ate even.
Right.
Because something as simple as that could cause aspiration and you can die on the operating table.
And Denise, for those tips and more, folks can get your book. Very helpful, very important tips. And your book is available pretty much everywhere right now.
Pretty much everywhere at hospital.
I have that link on our website as well.
Thank you.
I wanted to let
Appreciate it.
everyone know that you are doing just fine today.
Yes, I am.
Despite all of
yes,
that.
despite all that, I'm doing well.
Which is good news.
Yep.
All right, Denise, thanks so much for
Thank
being
you
with
for
us.
your time.
Coming up next here on Morning Extra, Cosby Show writer John Marcus is making a stop in Connecticut with a very different project. He's here this morning to tell us about his new play and when you can check it out. And then later, the rainy weather may not be ideal for your Memorial Day picnics, but it's the perfect movie weather. We're reviewing all the highly anticipated flicks making their debut today.